All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this next community office hours where myself and usually Monica talk through some things that are going on in the Ubuntu community and talk to some lovely folks from the Ubuntu community about what they're doing and how things are going. Before we get started and I introduce our guests today, I'm just going to say a few things about how this is going to happen and then some things that have been going on. So as the most astute people here will have noticed, Monica isn't with me today. That's because she's on PTO. She's on a bit of a vacation. So maybe she's watching, but otherwise she's got some time off, which does mean that I'll be monitoring all the different things today. So if I'm looking a little bit off screen, that's why. Please forgive me. But it should be fine. It should be exciting. A couple of things I wanted to mention that have been happening in the community this week. One of them was FOSS Talk Live happened this week with people from all over the free open source software community. Specifically, Monica's there in the chat. That's good. Specifically, I wanted to call out that the Ubuntu podcast guys, along with Stuart, did a nice collaborative stream for FOSS Talk Live. The link is already in the YouTube description if you're on YouTube, or if you're on Twitch, I'll put it there down the road. So that should be good. The other thing that I wanted to mention is there's a nice discussion going on over on the Ubuntu discourse about documentation, about outdated documentation. I'm going to be wading in there a little bit after this stream, but I just wanted to put it out there so you guys can go in and see what's going on when people are talking about updating and keeping outdated documentation up to date. Please go and have a look. As I said, there's a link in the doobly-doo for that in the description, so you should be able to see that. I'm just going to keep talking for a couple more, maybe a minute or so more, so that we have time for people to come in before I introduce our guests who are generously waiting in the wings. If you're watching this live, and I hope you are, please feel free to add any questions or comments you have for our guests in the chat. If you're on YouTube, I'll see it. If you're on Twitch, I'll see it. And if you're in IRC, I might see it. It depends on if I can watch back and forth between the places, but we'll see how all of that goes. Okay, in that case, without further ado, let me introduce our guests. Please welcome Youngbin and Ian. Let me add to this stream. There we go. Hello, guys.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great.
Oh,
Hello.
yeah, I'm also great. Hello.
Hello. So, Youngbin, why don't you go first and introduce yourself?
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Youngbin from Ubuntu Community. I've been participating in the Korean local community since 2013. And I'm now also organizing Ubucon Asia these days. Nice to be here.
Amazing. Welcome. We'll talk a little about Ubucon Asia a bit later. Ian, why don't you introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, thank you, Rhys and Youngbin. Yeah, and then I'm a special guest invited from Youngbin. Then my name is Ian. Then I'm currently one of OpenStack Korea user group organizers. But I have been collaborating a lot for more than 5 years with Ubuntu Korea community. So yeah, it's very nice to meet you.
It's very, very nice to have you guys here. I know I was really interested in getting you guys from the sort of APAC region on and talking about things because I know at least I've seen Youngbin's commentary and topics on Discourse, which has been super interesting. So I wanted to start by asking both of you, we'll go Youngbin first, how you got started, how you joined the Ubuntu community, and where your roots are.
I heard from the friend that there is a meetup on the Ubuntu meetup in Seoul, and I think that was I started to participate in the local community
in 2013.
Yes, right. I was actually studying in high school at there.
Nice. What was the meetup for in Seoul?
I think in that time they were usually talking about how to use Ubuntu desktop and how to work with the like using GIMP or something like LibreOffice.
Mm-hmm.
I think usually they were talking about desktop things.
Desktop things. Yeah, that's where most
Yeah.
people start, right? Desktop things.
Mhm.
What about you, Ian? How did you get started? I know you're in the OpenStack environment as well. Do you want to introduce where you started, where you began?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Honestly, my first experience with Ubuntu was that when I was very young, when I was a university student, and then I heard, oh, Linux can be booted just using CD-ROM, CD compact disc. So I was so surprised. So that I bought it. So it was super happy because that, oh yeah, buying compact disc would mean that I could donate something for Africa. So it was super great. So that was first experience on Ubuntu desktop. But then my first experience with Ubuntu Korea community was that when I was just a community member in OpenStack Korea user group, because that I could meet lots of passionate OpenStack organizers who were so active Ubuntu Korea community members. So they kindly introduced many passionate Ubuntu Korea community leaders and organizers. So that yeah, I could very easily become friendly with them. So sometimes that after meetup that I could drink together. So we talked a lot. For example, the history of Ubuntu, then what would be the future on Ubuntu with Korean language like that. So yeah, we sometimes drank a lot. So after then, the next time, a few weeks later, we met again, then drank or talked a lot like that. So it was super happy to communicate with so many active Ubuntu Korea community members.
That's really great. How do you remember what release of Ubuntu was on your CD?
It was maybe version 6 or 7. Yeah.
6 or 7. Okay,
Yes,
very good.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
But
go ahead. Go ahead.
what I actually first saw the CD version was 2004. I remember.
Do you have a CD version for 2004?
Yeah, I remember. I saw the 2004 on the seminar. The local
Oh, okay,
seminar.
right. Cool. That's really great. So you both started and became part of the Ubuntu Korea local community. So how since you guys started in that community and till now, how have things changed? What's the state of things? Are you still doing a lot of drinking when you're doing your community meetups?
Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, we don't drink.
Okay. Oh yeah, of course.
Before
COVID-19.
COVID-19. Yeah, before COVID-19.
Before. Yes, I remember there was always drink time after the some regular event. I remember there was usually regular seminar about once 2 months. Like was it 2 months? I remember. And usually talking about using Ubuntu to run some like doing AI things or run a server. We usually talk about that. And we also have some like joint meetups. Like we also have some joint events with the OpenStack or like yeah. And so also
it sounds like the OpenStack community was a very big part of the Ubuntu Korea community. That's not something you see everywhere else. What is it? Why is the OpenStack user group so closely knit to the Ubuntu community? Do you think?
Yeah. First of all, then, so lots of so passionate Ubuntu Korea community active members became OpenStack Korea user group organizers. So one member I clearly remember is that the guy is Seongjin Kang, and then he has been translating a lot for Ubuntu. So that when he became one of OpenStack Korea user group organizers, he was leading translation for OpenStack from English to Korean. So that after that, through thanks to him, that I learned a lot, more and more. For example, then in OpenStack world, and then we have been initially using Transifex. Now then we are using Janata. But however, then I didn't know at the time that what Launchpad is, for example. But he kindly more shared that, oh yeah, in Ubuntu, then there are so many translators who are using Launchpad for translation. So I could a lot. Also, then thanks to him, then I could contribute something not only for translation, so but also then how to communicate with other translation team members. So I became a OpenStack I-18 internationalization project team lead for almost 2 years in
Wow.
2017. And then I also could learn a lot. For example, how to submit bugs on Launchpad. So then, so I more knew that, oh yeah, Ubuntu and in between OpenStack and Ubuntu, and then contribution way is very similar. And also then lots of translators could communicate each other their know-hows. So that we have been co-organizing how to contribute upstream sources, and then how we encourage translations. So then we have been organizing some meetups, and also then some local sprints in offline before COVID-19 let's translate together just for a few hours like that. So it was super happy experience for me, and then it was also happy to closely work with Youngbin.
And that all happens. You still do that on Launchpad, and that's all still ongoing. You're still part of the translations team.
Currently, then I strongly believe that still then all the translations in Ubuntu is still happening with Launchpad. For OpenStack, then we try to pursue which platform would be more open and open. So, but right now, Janata platform is not evolving anymore. So we are finding alternatives. Hopefully, then we can find new platforms. But right now, then we are still using Janata. But for bug tracking, issue tracking on translation issues, then we are still using Launchpad very well.
Cool. Okay, that's really interesting. Yeah. Okay. Great. So, you both have been involved in organizing these kinds of local community meetups and these local community events. And Youngbin, you mentioned it before that you didn't get involved in the organizing of these things until maybe 2016. Is that right?
Yeah. Right. Yes.
I wanted to ask, what sort of problems have you run into? What sort of issues have you had when you've been trying to set up these global events in the Ubuntu community, and how you sort of dealt with those issues?
Yes. Sorry. When I first started to try to think about organizing the event, I remember it was last fall. But I was always wanting to see a Ubuntu Asia event because although I see some events something like Ubuntu Asia, and I also have some. I also attended the DevConf 18 in Taiwan, but I didn't really saw the Ubuntu Asia event that gathers the Ubuntu community around Asia, and I also didn't know the what kind of things are other communities in Asia do. So I want to know the what kind of activities they do. So after the COVID-19, so many conferences turn online. So I think it would be a great chance to try an online conference because it will be easier than the just offline event. It doesn't need any huge venue, or it doesn't need a lot of money. So I tried to start to reach out some communities, but I first started from the Japanese team because we have some. We already have some experience with exchanging with the communities. So from Japan, and then we tried to contact Taiwan team and China, but that was the problem started from there. we tried to find their contact address from the local portal, which we can find every list of the local community teams there. But when I tried to contact with the email, I couldn't really reach out them because maybe they would be busy, or maybe their inbox would be messy. So and the first time it was difficult to like keep reach out. So I tried another way to contact them. I tried to find their something like Facebook, because their Korea community also promote our activities on the social medias. So I tried to contact with the social medias, and so then I could get connected with the Taiwan team. And for the Chinese team, I tried. I told you that I've been to Ubuntu Asia. I met some. I also met some people from the China. So I asked for the help to get in touch with the Chinese team. So then I could connect with those three teams, and then I asked them to some, if you know some other peoples in the other community, to help me to some gather. And I also I remember also actually some published some also so that I'm looking for the organizers that on the discourse. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, right. After that, I could gather a lot of organizers from the various regions. Like I could also gather from the Hong Kong, Malaysia, and also some communities are not actually Ubuntu community, but they're interested to join and organize. So Force Asia and Force Nepal, like that, OpenStack Indonesia also joined together, and then we started to some talk about some plan about the event.
Wow, that's a lot. That's incredible. How long did it take for you to get in touch with all of those people from all those different places?
I think it took about 5 months to from starting from the gathering and to have our own first meeting.
Mm-hmm. And that first meeting, did that have people from Japan, from China, from Hong Kong, from Malaysia? Is that what you said? Was that a meeting with all of those people? Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, unfortunately, not everyone could join, but we could instead we showed our meeting notes to everyone that they can follow up.
And so that was for the last Ubucon Asia, is that right? Is that for the last time?
Yeah, right. Yeah, since fall until now, yeah, we're still talking about some details.
Amazing. Okay, super interesting. So we were talking, and we'll get specifically into Ubucon Asia in a moment. But you mentioned to me before that Ian here helped you with the sponsorship program and doing these things. So I wondered, Ian, how did you get involved in the Ubucon Asia, and when did Youngbin invite you to be a part of it, and what have you contributed to the Korea community over there?
Yeah. Thank you. Before that, I really also I just want to add that actually then Youngbin was doing military service in Korea. That everyone should go for army. So before Youngbin went to army service for almost 2 years. So then Youngbin was also one of very passionate community organizers, which I really appreciate his lots of effort, because then in Korea then there are not too many people who had experiences on foreign conferences by paying by themselves. So the Youngbin, I remember the Youngbin went to maybe Taiwan, right?
Right.
Yes, Youngbin, before going to military service, Youngbin went to Taiwan to see Suse conference. I forgot the exact name, but
I think the 2018 I went to DevConf 19. That was on Taiwan. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I forgot the campus name, but
Yeah,
anyway,
that's okay.
Youngbin has been establishing his own network in Ubuntu area, regardless of distributions. Whether, for example, that I still remember one active guy from Japan who came to Korea several times before COVID-19. So then Youngbin has been building his own network regardless of distribution platforms like Ubuntu, SUSE, Debian, or and so on. So then thanks to this, then Youngbin, after coming back from military service, then my feeling from Youngbin was that Youngbin wants to meet again well, from those organizers in online. So, but Youngbins were not sure how to organize a online event by collaborating with more different communities because then for example, then now then I'm more thinking, for example, that when I plan to uh, do a more Asia regional event, and then we at least need to consider which kind of online platform best, which platform would be the best online platform for each country. So, and also then for sponsorship, one main issue is that how we take care of different currency rate, or then from agencies or suppliers perspective, then they are not sure because then we are just a community member. Then we do not operate a kind of companies. We are not a CEO. And we are. I'm just just a disclaimer that I'm now working in Microsoft, but yeah, I'm receiving some salaries, so that I could not run a kind of separate company. So then we should need to think about how we define sponsorship package to discuss with more companies who would like to sponsor the event, and then also then how we also need to establish some plans. Which date would be the due date for sponsorship, then which date would be for call for papers, and then how we communicate with other user groups to for the best values or for the communities like that. So then, yeah, me and Youngbin just have been doing lots of conversations that which kind of best practices would be applicable for his organizing Ubucon Asia in 2021 this year.
Amazing. So what did you land on? What have you come up with? What's the program for sponsorship this year?
We have both the cash sponsorship and also non-cash packages. Cash packages are based on our budget plans. It's of course the amount of the package is lower than the other offline events because it's online basically. And we also have some non-cash packages for sponsoring some recording studios. Some people might need some their own space to record the sessions, and like some swag sponsors. And yes, we have some the kind of sponsorship packages. They can be found on our websites on our brochure, but you can check out for details.
That website should be in the description on YouTube, but if you want to put their website URL in the chat, maybe you can do that now. That's really interesting. But so it sounds like between the two of you, you're working with other Linux communities with OpenSUSE and so on. You've got the Ubuntu community, and with Ian, you've got the Microsoft people in there as well. So that should be a wide range of people. It's really great.
Yeah, thank you. And just one additional note is that it has been around 2.5 years to work in Microsoft. Before then, I was just a community member, and I was working in many startups in Korea in a healthcare company or then software defined network companies like that, and then so. Yeah. there are so great memories. So then, if you don't mind, then I can share my screen to share my memories, and then
Please do.
also then I believe Youngbin also can share his great memories.
That's great. It sounds like the kind of events that you run, Youngbin. They sound really great. I see there are some people in the chat talking about coming to Ubucon Asia 2022 in person. I know I'll be coming, especially if you guys are still going. Then that'll be great. Ian, are you loading those photos?
Yes. So yeah, the screen should be
Great.
loading. Yeah. So
So
first
what's
of
going
all,
on here? Who are
yeah.
these people?
So yeah, the left is me,
Mm-hmm.
and then the right one is uh, the uh, previous OpenStack Korea user group leader. So I'm the third OpenStack Korea user group leader, and then she
Mm-hmm.
was the second OpenStack Korea user group leader. So when she was leading OpenStack Korea community, and then she said to me a lot, for example, that she were very active. She was very active in Ubuntu Korea community. So
Mm-hmm.
then, yeah, he is Seongjin Kang, who also contributed a lot on Ubuntu Korea translation in Korean. So then his experience was super helpful to evolve translations in Korean for OpenStack. And also that he was the previous Ubuntu Korea community leader. So then, yeah, so that I drank a lot separately with him. Yeah, like that. And also that he is Jun Choi, and then he kindly recommended me to become Microsoft community program called Microsoft MVP program, like that. So then all are very passionate, and then he's on like a AI or expert on the detail on system and operators. So then he has been investigating a lot how uh, Ubuntu and Windows machines can run together like that. So that he is very an expert, and also that he is also a great passionate member in Ubuntu Korea community like that. So that was the first time. Yeah, it was in Microsoft Build local event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah,
You had
and
the Ubuntu meetup in the Microsoft Build event. I like that.
yeah.
Keep going. Sorry.
And then I also want to share this picture. So yeah, we have been co-organizing lots of events, and also then in Korea, then how can I say, there have been many offline location sponsorships. For example, then Microsoft Korea is one of sponsors who are supporting the venues, offline venues, and also then not only OpenStack Korea user group, but also Ubuntu Korea community got lots of sponsorship for offline place from neighbor, a local big search company, or then Korea government. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, one great memory I was that yeah, how multiple communities share their experiences together. So then, yeah, at the time, there were five active communities, and then took the picture together. So I had so great memories with that, and also then continuing this, and then we had so several meetings. So yeah, that was a picture uh, taken on in 2017. Then he was Youngbin, and then
Yeah.
it was me.
Great.
Yeah. And then also then thanks to this kind of active collaboration, then I could become Microsoft MVP. So then I want you to explore which kind of topic would be great for Ubuntu Korea community. So then before then I was exploring how to contribute uh, upstream sources on Ubuntu and OpenStack, but after I became MVP, then I also tried to study myself how what are the detailed mechanisms on WSL Windows subsystem on Linux, on Ubuntu, and then for Linux, and then I could do some live demonstrations. So then I could execute some WSL, also then share lots of my personal experiences, because then in reality, then we need in Korean language, and then we need to take care of language encoding. So then sometimes the Windows platform is still using non-UTF-8, non-Unicode encoding based method. But however, then now then Windows is also supporting a lot for Unicode based method. But there have been some compatibility issues, and also then I could share lots of detailed experiences. It was also one of great memories. And then this was another picture. For example, that this was the topic then, how we create Launchpad account for the contributions for both OpenStack and Ubuntu.
Oh wow, that's really great. And then people just see that, watch the video, and away they go, and they contribute to Ubuntu. I love that.
Yeah.
Youngbin, did you have things you want to talk about from other meetups and stuff as well?
Oh, of course.
Bring that up. Take a second. There we go.
You see the screen?
Yeah, we see your screen.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, this photo is actually this one is from actually from long ago. I remember it should be 3 years ago. 3 years. This is joint end year party with the OpenStack.
There we go.
So just looking for the photos. Okay. On the end year party, we usually talk about what we have done for throughout the year, like our joint events, like our activities, like, and also something like what Ian told me before, like talking about the contributing to the OpenStack or Ubuntu, how to get started, and then we eat some samgyeopsal barbecue, and also drink a lot.
Nice.
And this is actually we actually started to exchange with the Japanese team from the Nogata Jun. He's from the Debian Japan and Ubuntu Japan. Thanks to him, I could start to build a network with the other communities in near Korea, right? Like Ubuntu Asia and like Debian people, like that.
Barbecue.
And I did last year. Do you remember? Ian, do you remember the open source contribution?
Sure.
I think we OpenStack and Ubuntu both participated to how to engage some new contributors for the both Ubuntu and OpenStack. I remember for the Ubuntu team, we participated as a translation team to try to engage some new translator for the Ubuntu Korea. And I remember we also did some workshop to how to sign up for the Launchpad. And I think it is actually some big hurdle for to join the some team on the Launchpad, because it actually requires some signing on the Ubuntu Code of Conduct with the GPG. You know, for newcomers, working with the GPG is it's difficult, right? So we also did some workshop on that, and then we give people some guidelines on how to participate the Ubuntu translation on Launchpad. And the contribution is actually also is also about the at the end of the event, they also the mentees, the new people, they do some presentation about the what kind of thing they learned through the program and what kind of thing they contributed. And I think I was very impressed by the some newcomers I met on the contributor. We also have a event called Korea Community Day. It usually you can it's usually on the on earlier the year, like January or February. It's where the every developer or every open source communities gathers and they meet. And we also regularly have our own booths there, like we can, so that you can meet some new people like that.
Yeah, I see the hat on the table, and I've seen some stickers before, and the big banner. Is that all?
Right.
Did you order all of that stuff and the T-shirts, or does that come? Did we get that from Canonical?
The banner and the banner cap and straps are from the Canonical. For the stickers, we use both from the Canonical. Sometimes we order our own stickers to share with people.
There you go. There's the Bionic Beaver.
Oh. Yep. Our release party as well. And this is the t-shirts. We ordered. We did group buy on this.
Cool.
Okay.
That's really great. How is that the kind of thing that we'll be seeing at Ubucon Asia? So let's talk about Ubucon Asia now. Is that the kind of thing we'll be seeing there? Is that similar to all of the events you just saw?
I think at the Ubucon Asia, maybe I think I would like to get the people to talk about from the start what kind of activities they do, because there really some no exchange between the local communities in Asia. So I'd like to get to know each other communities out there, and maybe we can talk about some basic things. So some what they're interested and what kind of things are interested on their each region. And of course there will be also t-shirts.
Yeah, of course there will be t-shirts. Of course,
T-shirts.
So there's for people who are watching live on Twitch, if you head over to YouTube, the link to these kinds of things are in the description. And I see there are people chatting away in Twitch. So if people on YouTube want to join that conversation, you can go over there. Okay, cool. So what's the plan and what's the date at the moment for Ubucon Asia? What's the state of things?
We're currently calling for proposals now. It was started from the it's in ongoing way. It's about 2 weeks to go to deadline of the proposal. I think
right.
We still have time to submit some proposal. I think if you're thinking about the submit proposal, this is the right time to think about details and ready to submit. The notification of the acceptance of the proposal will be on the end of the July, and the event will be at the end of September.
The end of September.
It will be today's event.
That's great. Ian, what will you be involved in Ubucon Asia as well? What will your part be?
Honestly, no, but yeah. Can I also share my screen again?
Sure, of course, yeah.
So one thing I'm so impressed with Youngbin's great effort is that Youngbin is actively contributing to create Ubucon Asia homepage. So then I want to share then what Youngbin has been volunteering a lot to create some great structures on the homepage. And
Definitely.
so let me share my screen again. So first of all, then this is a homepage for Ubucon Asia 2021. So honestly, then I'm not involving in many activities, but still then I'm learning a lot. So yeah, one of my roles in Microsoft is how I better help developer communities in Asia Pacific region. So Ubucon Asia is also one of my interests, how Microsoft can help more, empower more. So yeah, unfortunately now then thanks to this thing prevents me then to volunteering a lot for Ubucon Asia, but
Right.
I'm happy to also have some separate conversation with Youngbin then which kind of sponsorship package would be great so that I could share some sponsorship packages from OpenStack Korea days event previously. But anyway, then this homepage is super great because the date is about September, but however, that I strongly believe that all the listeners right now, then please submit your piece. And then Youngbin and also the other Ubucon Asia organizers can review and then may happily accept your proposals. So one thing I'm very happy is then in Asia event, translation is very important. So then,
Mm-hmm.
so the homepage is very international. It supports not only English but also Bahasa in Indonesia, also Malay, and also then Korean. So anyone can contribute translations just by making a pull request in IATN folder on Ubucon Asia GitHub repository. So then, actually then there are I've seen that there are so many volunteers. And then Youngbin, this is Youngbin's latest commit like that. So Youngbin is volunteering a lot. How Ubucon Asia organizers can cooperate together to contribute to for better homepages. So
This is
this
a.
is yeah
Go ahead. Go
yeah yeah
ahead. Sorry, keep going.
yeah, thank you. And this is super great. And second thing I want to add is that, although my current role is a kind of non-developer, so I'm more thinking how I better go to developer communities in Asia Pacific, then how I better help developer communities. I'm not a developer anymore, honestly. But however, before working in Microsoft, I have been a real developer. So I have been contributing a lot on open sources in OpenStack, and also then I was implementing lots of iOS applications or the network applications like that. So I really like code-based approach. So
Mm-hmm.
one thing I want to share is, yeah, this is a video template. Everyone can think. Every organizer needs to more think how we replicate lots of videos. For example, when I clone this repository, then so for example, then I cloned this and then I just executed npm install and npm run build. And then out.mp4 file has been generated. When I open Visual Studio Code, and then I could see that, oh yeah, there are some logos and also then there are some transitions. And then the result is like this. Yeah, or trailer or pre-parts like 10 seconds or 20 seconds. Yeah, Youngbin is thinking how he can automate for example, let's suppose that there are so many proposals and videos for Ubucon Asia, and then how to deal with more than 100 videos manually.
Mm.
It would be very tough. So Youngbin's thinking I learned from this code repository is that how Youngbin can do more automated work through his coding knowledge. This is super great. So then I strongly encourage to really would like to more encourage to Asia communities and other developer communities. Please see then how your communities can learn from this and how to replicate. So sharing knowledge among developer communities should be very great. And then I really was impressed with Youngbin's knowledge of exploring like this way.
Yes, this is really impressive. This is great. I put the link to the website in the chat already, but is there a link to the repo that we can share with everyone so people can have a look around?
Yep.
This is really interesting. I mean, I think I'm going to be doing this exact same thing. This sounds great.
Yeah. Also, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
Everyone can do it. It is a open source.
Yeah. There we go. This is great. While you guys get that link, I'll just say to everyone to make sure that you feel free to ask questions. And I've got the link now. Because you feel free to ask questions in the chat, and we'll answer them as we go along. I see Monica's asked a question that we'll ask in a second. So this is the GitHub repo that I just put in the chats over there to the video template. Thanks you both for giving me that. Okay, great. So I'm just going to take that off sharing now so we can keep talking. But thank you for that. Yeah, that's that's super interesting. That's great. The last thing that I wanted to ask before we get to the questions that have come in is how can people get involved? So is the right place for people to get in contact with you that website, or is there other places that you would like people to submit their CFPs and so
on? For submitting the proposals, there's a event platform called Event.yay. I'm gonna show the screen.
Yep, go ahead. I'll just make it. There we go.
So we move to our Ubucon Asia website. You can see the button register now. You have the call for speakers. Then it will redirect you to the Event.yay platform. Event.yay is a platform that has everything for the online or offline events. It has the coin for proposal systems and also have the video call. So if you go there, you will need to create an account if you don't have one. Then you sign in, and you will find a calling for speakers. This one is actually translated. There should be calling for speakers, and you can see the details of the CFP here. What kind of topic you can submit, or what kind of sessions, and you can actually also submit sessions in your local language like Korean or Japanese, Chinese, because I know that many people in Asia, especially CJK region, they hesitate. They usually hesitate to submit session on the global event because they're not confident with giving speech in English, so they can also submit session in their own language. And you see the on the bottom there should be add speaker details. For me, I already submitted my details. If you click this button, you can put your details here. And after that, you can submit your proposal by clicking the Add New Session.
And then when it loads,
and then you can put your details here.
Great. So that's the ubucon.asia website, and then you find your way to that section, and then you click through. Great. That's perfect. Thank you very much for sharing that. I hope you get some submissions out of this. So moving on to some questions. I saw one question come in from the chat that Monica asked there. Let me put it on screen. What inspired you to actually make Ubucon Asia happen in the first place?
When I became the leader of the Ubuntu community in 2017, I saw there's a Ubucon in Pasadena, but I wanted to join with my previous community leader. but there was some limitation for joining the event. But that was you mean the the budget. It requires a lot of budget to go to the America from Korea, and it's
Sure.
too long to get there. I thought it would be great to have some global events near from my country, maybe in Asia. So that inspired me to organize the Ubucon Asia event.
And then, so you wanted to go to an event, but you wanted one more local. So then you got in touch with all of the communities that you mentioned before. Is that right? And then you just set it up, right? You just did it.
Yeah. Well, I was always thinking about it would be great to have Ubucon Asia in 2017. Then when I started to yes, I think, but I begin all stuff from last fall. It was difficult to begin, but well, I think with because of a lot of help from the other people, I think I could gather make the team.
Great. Okay, fair enough. So it was really you wanted to go to an event, so you made an event. I like that. That sounds really good. It looks like those are all the questions that have come in from the chat. Besides people saying that they really liked the photo of the barbecue, that was really good, and that every conference needs T-shirts, which is absolutely true. So that's really good to hear. That's all of the stuff that I wanted to talk through. That I wanted to hear from you guys. Have you got anything else to say? Have you got anything you'd like to say to the audience here?
So I would really like to see you all on the upcoming Ubucon Asia. Join us to discuss together and virtually, and also share your experience within. If you're from the Ubuntu local community, and I'd also like to hear what kind of activities you do on the local team. And see you on the September.
Yeah, absolutely. See you in September. So hopefully everyone will go to Ubucon Asia, and hopefully all the locals will let you know what's going on. Ian, do you have anything else?
Yeah. First of all, then thanks a lot for inviting me as one of the special speakers today. For
Special guest from
Ubucon
Microsoft.
Thank you. And also that I'm really happy to see more collaboration through open sources and Ubuntu. So Ubuntu is really great. I still have great memories of using Ubuntu desktop with compact disk. So that was my super great experience because before that, I thought that Linux should be run on from hard disk. So I couldn't imagine. So that changed lots of mindset. And then also in 2012, then I was in Canada. At the time that I saw in Korea, then actually then still lots of people are using Windows, but however, then now then more people are using Ubuntu, Linux, or macOS. And then in 2012, I've been surprised. I was surprised because in Canada, many pre-set up desktops in universities were supporting dual booting, Windows and Ubuntu. So then, thanks to this, that I could experience a lot on Ubuntu, and then at the time, then I especially experienced how to install OpenStack in Ubuntu 11 or 12, and then that was my great memory. Then how I could more involve in communities. Yeah. So then after coming back from Canada, then I was very eager how I participated in communities. And then also that I appreciate Youngbin's lots of huge efforts as a organizer. And also that I appreciate lots of ex-organizers and also still active organizers. And for Ubucon Asia, then, as I mentioned, it is a kind of one of first community collaborations from multiple countries in Asia through online. So then I really want to see the successful Ubucon Asia 2021. And so then I really encourage all of listeners right now, then please think about submitting, how to submit some great speaking. So any kind of topic related with Ubuntu or Linux experiences should be great. I strongly believe.
I completely agree. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's really good. And yeah, I thank you, Youngbin, for all of your contributions and for setting up Ubucon Asia. I've seen there are people in the chat who are talking about going, and it's going to be. I hope it'll be really, really great. Just quickly before we leave, before I end the stream, I wanted to point out that all of us are wearing different Ubuntu t-shirts. So we should just show everybody that we're wearing Ubuntu t-shirts.
Yep.
Okay, great. And on that note, thank you both for joining me. Thank you everyone who's watching live, and thank you everyone who's watching not live. It's been, I hope you've enjoyed the conversation. I've loved speaking to you guys and hearing about Ubucon Asia. So thank you for joining me, and yeah, goodbye everyone. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.